Hello young coders, welcome back. Today we're going to explore the count with block in programming. This is where things start to get interesting. Now you might be wondering, what is this count with block? Well, it's a powerful tool that allows us to control how our program counts numbers. Let's imagine a scenario. Suppose you want to count from 1 to 10 but only want to say the even numbers out loud. In real life, you would count silently in your head and only speak when you reach 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. In programming, we can achieve this using the count with block. We set a variable, for instance, I, to count from 1 to 10 and increase by 1 each time. But here's the trick. We add an if block to only act when I is an even number. And just like that, we've programmed our code to count even numbers for us. In programming, we can do this with the count with block. We can set a variable, let's say I, to count from 1 to 10 and increase by 1 each time. As we dive into the realm of programming, the count with block becomes our new best friend. It's like a digital assistant that does the counting for you. Think of this block as a loop, an ongoing circle that starts at a certain point, ends at another, and repeats a specific task in each round. Here's how it works. In the BIPIS interface, we first navigate to the loop blocks. From there, we select the count with block. This block allows us to set a variable, in this case I, which we want to count. When we say count, we mean that I will take on a series of values starting from 1 and ending at 10 in our example. Now, how do we make I count from 1 to 10? We simply set the starting point as 1 and the end point as 10 in the count with block. With each loop, I will increase by 1. But what if we only want to work with even numbers? This is where the if block comes in. We can use this block to set a condition that the program must check each time it goes through the loop. In our case, we want the program to check if I is an even number. If I is indeed even, the program will perform a certain action. If not, it will simply move on to the next number. By combining the count with block and the if block, we've just created a program that counts from 1 to 10 and only acts when the number is even. It's like having a clever little robot that does the counting and checking for you. And voila, we have our even numbers. Isn't programming amazing? It's not just about typing lines of code, it's about solving problems, thinking logically, and making the computer do the work for you. The count with block is just one of the many tools you can use to achieve this. So don't stop here, keep exploring, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep coding. And that's it. You've just learned how to use the count with block in programming. In our journey today, we've taken a deep dive into the world of loops and variables. We've discovered how this powerful tool can perform a task as simple as counting, but with a twist. We've seen how, by using variables and conditionals, we can instruct our program to count, but only utter the even numbers. Ingenious, isn't it? In essence, we've been playing with a digital abacus, setting our own rules and conditions. We've been the puppet masters, pulling the strings, making the computer dance to our tunes. We've transformed a mundane task into a fun-filled coding adventure. But remember, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a vast ocean of possibilities out there waiting for you to explore. So don't stop here. Keep practicing, keep experimenting, try to count backwards or in multiples of 3 or 5. Or even better, why not create your own unique counting sequence? The sky's the limit. Remember, every great coder started out as a beginner, just like you. They weren't born with the knowledge of loops and variables. They practiced, they experimented, they failed, they learned, and they kept moving forward. And look where they are now, creating amazing apps and games that we use every day. You could be the next coding superstar, and all it takes is practice, persistence, and a pinch of creativity. So what's next on our coding adventure? Well, we're going to delve deeper into the realm of loops. In our next video, we'll explore a new block, the For Each Item in List block. It's another fascinating tool that can make our coding lives easier and more fun. I'll see you in our next video, where we'll explore how to use the For Each Item in List block. Until then, happy coding.